Hey, what's up? A weird time, I know. The old 1:15 quarter past the hour. The recap lunch hour with me, Guff, Ryan McGuffey, jacked up. I got all kinds of stuff on my mind right now, and I look forward to share. We're going to bring start bench cut back today because I was at Costco, and I want to talk about that. I know tis the season. We're a week from Christmas, and start bench cut today is going to feature some stuff. I know it's something most of us do. Okay. And if it's not Costco, it's a place just like it. We're going to bring that up here in a minute. Bet of the day. I'm off the schneid, everybody. I'm off the schneid. The Memphis Tigers last night got it done. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. We're going to start with this reports from The Athletic confirmed by CHSN's Casey Johnson, friend of the program, that the Denver Nuggets are interested in acquiring Bulls All-Star Zach LaVine. Should not shock anybody. It should not shock Zach LaVine. He knows this is something that he'd be in the talks. As December 15th is when talks can officially start. So we're officially 3 days into that window. And Michael Porter Jr.'s name's being floated as a possible return. Remember, the NBA, when you trade money, you got to match the money. So if you're trading a $45 million contract, you got to take on $45 million back in order for it to work. You can't just trade 3 draft picks like the NFL. Not how it works at all. And so you got to find the right match. The Denver Nuggets are looking for more scoring to help out the 3-time MVP, Nikola Jokic, and Zach would be a great compliment. Quite frankly, I'm ready for it. The Bulls need to start losing because they're in a spot right now that, quite frankly, is they're too good. They're being mediocre is too good, because if they lose, if they win enough and they fall out of the top 10 worst teams in the league, or the bottom 10, I should say, the bottom 10 teams in the league, they lose their draft pick to the San Antonio Spurs, and we go off and running, and the Bulls are doing a rebuild without a draft pick in a year where the NBA, where the prospects are as good as they've been in a very, very long time. Love to hear your thoughts. Obviously, we got Bears thoughts. The Bears are regressing. Thomas Brown doubled down, saying he liked the effort. He liked the effort. There's not a lot out there in terms of here. I wanted to say this, by the way, about the Bears. There's some little White Sox news coming in here. Caleb is at the podium as we speak. Okay. Caleb Williams at the podium. There's just not a lot to like right now, as we all know. And there's zero excitement for this team. They play the Lions on Sunday. And so we'll hear what's going on for them. The real Phil Simms. Good afternoon, Phil. Do you feel that the trade would help both teams and they will use? Yeah. So yes, Phil, the Bulls need to get worse. I mean, that's just a fact. And Vooch is definitely having an all-star season. He is going to help somebody no matter what. Vooch has a year left on his deal. And I would say be very attractive to a team like the Lakers. And as well as any team just trying to contend. The Bulls need to get these guys. They need to get good players off their roster. Quite frankly, I wonder if Lonzo Ball at this point is actually going to garner trade interest. It'd be something interesting to look at. Justin, what's up, man? Definitely some White Sox news here. Okay, so first off, the official name of the stadium is now The Rate. Like, they broke news today like it's some big deal, because Guaranteed Rate is no longer called Guaranteed Rate. It's called The Rate. Or it's called Rate. I'm sorry. And so now it's Rate Field. So for like the 400th time in the last 20 years, we have a name change. They dropped it. It was some big surprise. No one cares. We all call it The Rate anyway. And I don't know. It almost feels like that doesn't need an announcement. I guess you're trying to appease the sponsor, but for the fans, it doesn't do much. Phil, with Bellinger gone, will the Cubs go after Alonso, and will they go after Kirby Yates? A couple things about Cody Bellinger. The guys are going to tape a podcast tomorrow, Gordon and Cap, because I told them Cub fans want to know why that you get Justin Tucker. Why are you moving? Why are you forcing your hand out to trade salary, to dump? Because that's all Cody Bellinger was. It was a trade dump. And it frustrates me as a Chicago sports fan that the Cubs are in a position that they're dumping salary because they can't afford too many good players. I find that asinine. Now, some of these X accounts, you have to read between the lines. They have, very little followers here and there. Or or you start to look at 5,000, 10,000 followers. I saw a report that the Cubs are at least keeping an eye on the Corbin Burnes market. That would be a stunning, wide-eyed, eye wide open development, because now you're bringing Corbin Burnes back with his former manager. Who knows him better than Craig Counsell? And you have Kyle Tucker. Now we're cooking with fire. Yes, I do think they still need upgrades offensively, but that definitely jumped out to me. Will they go after Pete Alonso? That market's going to be like the fact. I feel like there's been no news on Pete Alonso. So I keep saying I would love to go after Pete Alonso because I think he just brings an edge. And yeah, I'm a fan. Mike says the Bulls need Michael Porter to be their best player. It doesn't really matter who the Bulls' best player is right now. It doesn't. This team needs to tank. It's just a fact. They need to be one of the worst teams in the NBA so they keep that pick. LOL at the White Sox. That's what I'm saying, Lefty. Dustin, Charlotte has interest in pairing Lonzo and LaMelo together. That'd be awesome. Like, could you imagine? Like, I didn't see a scenario 6 months ago where Lonzo Ball was ever going to give the Bulls another ounce of playing minutes again. And quite frankly, more just because I didn't think he was going to play basketball again. He had an experimental exploratory surgery. He should be commended. Like, he should be comeback player of the year right now. Like, matter of fact, I wonder if I can look this up. If I can look up comeback player of the year in the NBA right now, and if Lonzo Ball is not like off the board or minus 10,000 to win this award, we're all going to bet it right now. Because here, let's take a look. Awards. Most improved. We need comeback. They don't. Oh, here, comeback. Is this comeback player of the year? Oh, no, it's coach of the year, defensive player of the year. They don't have a comeback player of the year. LaMelo Ball's on that. I don't know. Lonzo Ball should be comeback player of the year. Maybe that's why they don't have it. Adrian, what's up? Zach LaVine trade doesn't really make sense to me on either side. Losing Michael Porter for LaVine doesn't make them significantly better. I don't know why the Bulls would do it unless picks are attached. The Bulls want to clear their best players off the team. Michael Porter's not as good as Zach LaVine, even though he's having a good season, maybe his best season. He's not an all-star. He can't create his own shot like Zach LaVine. And there's regression from Murray in Denver. So the load that, as Casey Johnson reported today, the load that Nikola Jokic is carrying is heavier than ever. So I think it does make sense. The Bulls need to clear these good players off their team. The bullpen. Are you talking about the Cubs here, Andy? The bullpen, I did see a report from Ken Rosenthal just moments before coming on that they are targeting the high-end relief market and like bigger names. So I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. And the White Sox, they acquired, they did sign a reliever today. It doesn't really matter. They're going to keep adding guys like that. So I'm guessing you're saying Cubs. The Cubs, I do expect to add a closer. How many more moves do you feel the Cubs need to be serious World Series contenders? Okay. Starting pitcher, another bat, closer. Depending on who those names are, Phil, that could do it. But it depends on who those names are. If it's high end, pretty good, yes. If it's pretty good, okay, decent, flyer, Yeah, the Cubs, Dennis, are looking for a closer. Yes, Justin, the White Sox. Thank you. Bryce Wilson from the Brewers. Yeah, everyone's in. The Cubs definitely need a stud. Not a $30 million player. Jed is dumping that money to spend it on a better player, my belief. That's what I think all Cub fans want to believe. I'm with you on that, Mike. Like, can you get a $17 million closer and another $13 million bat? I don't know. I'm with you. Like, I know they're trying to spend the money better as long as you spend it. If you're just cutting it to cut, I think that's where the concern comes from. Swayze, you're just saying they're cheap, plain and simple. They need to go get another bat. I agree. That's why I'm like, it's weird to take an all-star. Like, I know he was an all-star this year, but a former MVP. I mean, you can't have too many good players, in my opinion. I know the Cap was asking me, like, where do you put Bellinger then? Michael Bush is at first, right field's Kyle Tucker, Pete Crow Armstrong's in center, Ian Happ's in left. Like, in some ways, I buy that argument that there's no true spot on this team. He's kind of played himself off the team in Cody Bellinger for that price. I get it. It's time to pour your best player. Yeah, that's a 20-win season. Yeah, I know. They have 11 already. What's up, Ash? What's up, Astro? What percentage of the crowd at Soldier Field and Sunday would be Lions fans? 40? I mean, certainly 30, right? You would think. I mean, Bears fans are always good, but yeah, I think it's that time of year where you're going to start seeing the opposing teams' fans make the trip, especially if it's close. Cap, why is Jesse say Cap? Hey, Cap. Why is Jesse saying Cubs are not interested in signing Tucker after the season? That's insane if true. Yeah, I agree. That's insane. I saw that Tucker was interested. He did say he would take or have talks about an extension at any point. So I thought that was a positive thing, but the idea that they wouldn't hear that is insane. If anyone should be the Bulls' best player next season, it's Buzelis. Yeah, I agree. And like that should be about what it's about. At this point, you just kind of have a whole bunch of parts. You got the three guys in Zach and Vooch, and then I guess Lonzo. I mean, I know Kobe White's, but like Kobe White's signed. He's under contract. So can you get something for an Io DeSumo? I don't know. But like you gotta get some of these guys off the books ASAP. Bulls are getting the playoffs, get bounced, knocked up. That would be the worst case scenario, is that the Bulls made the playoffs. It really would be. Hey, you're saying in the first round, Will, I see that. Justin, you could care less what it's called, right? Because you call it Sox Stadium, Comiskey, or Sox Park. I think for the most part, a lot of people do. I don't. I still hear more people call it U.S. Cellular Field than Guaranteed Rate Field. So, we're creatures of habit. No one likes change. This is another change that really doesn't impact anybody fan-wise for the good. Michael Porter Jr. very good as well. Trading LaVine for Michael Porter Jr. doesn't make them significantly worse, and unless they don't get draft capital, if it makes but you got to remember, Adrian, in NBA, you have to trade money for money. Dollars for dollars have to be part of a trade. I think there'll probably be some capital draft capital in there, but you can't make a trade in the NBA for a $45 million player without including $45 million of contracts back. And the Nuggets don't really have a lot of dump salary type contracts dumpable that they're willing to trade to get better, and B, that line up with Zach LaVine. That's part of the problem of having Zach at a max contract. People forget how many blown saves the Cubs had last year. 26. Cut that number in half, and they are a postseason team. 13. You don't even have to cut it in half. Give them 9 of those wins. 13 of those, I believe, came in the 9th inning, if I'm not mistaken. So take half of those. Let's say 6. The Cubs win 89 games. So to your point, Lefty, yeah, I mean, you don't even, if you got half of them back, absolutely. Tucker will make $30 million arbitration this year. They dump Bellinger for the same amount, but Tucker's a way better player than Bellinger. It's not a debate. Like if we're going to go $30 million for $30 million, it's literally not a debate. And Tucker's makes way too much. It sounds like I asked Cap about Suzuki. I think Suzuki's, it sounds like that was agent talk about didn't want to be a DH. I think Suzuki can spell Kyle Tucker on a day when he's played, 4 or 5 straight and needs a day off. He can go to right field, and then Suzuki will eat up a lot of the DH slot through the right through the year. Will says the Cubs and Sox are both garbage. I hang tight. Pump the brakes on the Cubs right now. I get that you're saying they're cheap, but let's see what all the moves equate to at the end. If you say LaVine makes Denver better offensively, Michael plays better defender, good shoot. Yeah, Adrian, I don't want to get too deep down in the weeds here on this, but it's more about the Bulls they need to get rid of their good players. And maybe, think about this, maybe they ship Michael Porter Jr. out too afterwards. So maybe Porter's here. Maybe he never steps on the floor here. Maybe he's a cup of coffee guy, plays 2 games with the Bulls, and he's shipped out somewhere else to get, even worse than that. Tucker told the Astros he had no interest in extension. That's why they traded him. Yeah, a year ago. Sounds like they had multiple talks with him. So maybe he saw the out. And everyone in baseball, I'm telling you guys, everyone, all the players, they all know the best organizations to play for, who's got the best amenities, who's got the best family rooms, who's got the best everything. and the Cubs are always at the top of the list. Obviously they're sold out a lot, etc. That's why it makes it so damning and frustrating that they would, quote unquote, go cheap or have to be in a salary dump. Phil, what do you think of what Troy Aikman said in regards to the Bears going after Shanahan? I don't see John Lynch doing that. Mike Vrabel, guys, you guys know where I stand here. I'm all in on the Vrabel train. If Aikman did say he'd be all in on something like Kyle Shanahan or making a trade for someone like Kyle Shanahan. Me too. I'd be all in on that. That's a guy who's been the CEO for a long time. Been to a couple Super Bowls. Yes, guys, we need. If you listen to, it's worth listening to the Big Dog Show that's on the channel right now with Jalen Johnson yesterday. A really in-depth 45-minute conversation about, some of the stuff we've heard in some ways, but a lot of we had more perspective about how the Hail Mary game kind of started this avalanche effect, about why a coach isn't just the solution to fixing this stuff. Really good stuff. Make sure you check it out. The Big Dog Show that's up here on the channel. Swayze, you said they should go after Alonso and put Bush in his natural position. I don't think you're wrong on that. And that's why I'm saying, like, let's wait and see and go. Could you see the Bulls tanking? They should be tanking for Cooper Flagg. That's not one word. Well, that's two. But yes, Phil, that's exactly what they should be doing. I call the Sox Stadium a hole in the earth. Well, that's what it's felt like lately. It's still a great place, guys. It's still a great place to tailgate, be with your buddies, your families. A really good place to take the family to a baseball game. I'm never going to shy away from that. That's why I don't do they need a new ballpark? No. They need a better team. Cubs having no interest on re-signing Tucker next season is going to Reinsdorf land. If that is true, then Jed's got to bounce. That, to me, is not a Jed thing, Mike. If the Cubs have no interest in signing one of the best hitters in the game, that's ownership. That's where the dollars come from. Why is Jed a problem for that? Are you? Oh, okay. You're saying Jed should leave if that's the case. Okay. There was a time when I dreamed of seeing a Chicago sports GMs do the franchise mode type of rebuild. I've seen it so many times now. Like, I'm enough. Okay, I'm enough. Or okay, enough. We have to see it. Yeah, I know. Right, Pablo? Good to see you, Pab. Okay. Adrian, man, I love it. Yeah, I think there'd be picks attached, brother. Great blown. Yeah, I got it memorized, OD. It's bad. The three guys who combined for ninth inning saves, which are Porter Hodge, Hector Neris, and Adbert Alzolay, I think blew 13 saves. Neris, no shot. Alzolay, I've heard maybe a minor league deal. He's blown out. He can't pitch until at least August at the earliest. They're thinking he might not even pitch. So, I don't know. Justin hopes they bring back the players on retired numbers. Yeah, that was awesome. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to do that. I think the way they have them up there are going to stay, but I hear what you're saying. If the MLB had a cap like NFL happens, Suzuki would be cut to save money. Just like Hayward contract messed up. Here's the problem, Chris. Players aren't agreeing to that now. It's why baseball is part of the reason baseball's in hell. And it's part of the reason why the NFL's gold. Football's king, not for long. Contracts, that's why it's all about the guaranteed money. No, I don't think anybody disagrees with you, Chris. The Bulls have sucked since the 90s. I guess you blacked out the Derrick Rose era. You might call that disappointing. That was a fun team, a fun time. But besides that, I mean, it's tough to argue with you. Bulls keep winning and not going to... Dude, they're not going to... If they go to the playoffs, everyone should be fired. Like, seriously. Yeah, Justin, I wasn't even going to mention this. I'm more pissed about this. Like, we got a few more minutes here. There's a lot to get to. I'm more pissed about the Ishbias inquiring about purchasing the White Sox last year. All right, they're local guys. They're billionaire owners of the Phoenix Suns. They're young. They wanted to. They're the guys who have basically most of the land on the North Shore. They had to donate some of it back, I think, to Wilmette because it was like parkland. They have the Phoenix Suns. They want a baseball team. They called Jerry Reinsdorf. It was the report last summer, and basically were like, "Hey, we're interested in buying a baseball team. I know you're not for sale. Yeah, make me an offer." They make an offer. I guarantee you it was a great one, especially for the White Sox, especially where Jerry is at. And he said, "We're not for sale." So now the Minnesota Twins are for sale and the division rivals. And guess who's interested in going down? They're down the line in the conversations. This is, I just want to throw up. I mean, it's so nauseating. And did you see what they did to the Phoenix Suns menu at the ballpark? Or at the ballpark. At the here, I'm going to show you guys what they just did. Winnings. This is for the Phoenix Suns. This is from Matt Ishbias. Winning starts with our fans. When I walk the concourse at games, there aren't food options for families who don't want to spend a lot of money. That needs to change. So today we're rolling out our $2 value menu for all Suns home games. Look at this. Look at that. That's ownership, understanding what it takes to cater to your fans. That's at a home game for the Phoenix Suns right now. It's not even little. That's a big thing. That's not even little things. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating that you have somebody out there who says, let us just do this. What's up, Eli? Michael, back to the Bulls. They'll get steamrolled. Yeah. Astros, right? It's competence. It's recognizing what's the right thing to do. Fill the seats, have the people buying more concessions, keep them happy, have them spread the word, keep people coming back. What a business proposal. Who do you think the Cubs have a better chance of acquiring? Burns, Castillo, or Cease? I told my buddy yesterday, the Cubs should be all over Dylan Cease. All over him. 1 year of Dylan Cease. They should be all in on trying to acquire Dylan Cease. He would, A, he loves it here. B, to kind of right the wrong. And on that team, I don't know, man. I think if I were ranking those guys, I honestly, Phil, looking at money too, you'd probably go Cease, Castillo, Burns. Burns is going to cost the most. The other two are going to cost prospects. Castillo, I think, is on the hook for 24 a year for 3. I'd go Cease, Castillo, Burns. Jerry would never cut costs. I mean, there's just a lot of people running the show. So at a Bulls game, they already put asses in the seats, and they are top 5 in merchandise. Thank you, Michael Jordan. 30 years later, still giving it. What percent of this Bears roster will be gone for the season? There's a lot of turnover. Usually, they have 6. I think they're top 5 or 6 in cap space, I want to say. So they're going to be able to add, I'd say at least 30% for sure. I'd say at least 30%. Yeah, Justin, I want them to buy socks too. All right, a couple more things here before we go. What do we want to do first? You know what do we want to do first? I think we get into, let's do it, guys. Look what we have. We have more graphics. It's start, bench, cut time. Start, bench, cut. We're bringing it back. We're going to have a fun one here. What's the best day and time to go to Costco? We are switching gears here. I have my, I think I have mine. I just got back from there. Okay. We're a week to the moment right now. We're a week from Christmas Day, which, holy hell, how did we get here? I think like Tuesday, Wednesday, 10 to noon. I think that's my, I'm not going anywhere, Lefty. I'm here, bud. We're doing start, bench, cut, man. We're doing start, bench, cut. Tuesday, an hour before. Ooh, Tuesday, an hour before close. See, I thought Tuesday at open. Okay. Best time is never. I disagree with you, OD Green. You got to go in with the game plan. I had my AirPods in today. I'm like, it's like me at when I'm at the gym, I have my own gym. Not like here, I do my own thing because when I'm at the gym, I'm there. It's a business trip, man. Get the hell out of my way. Don't sit there and get on your phone. 3 laps. Okay. Oh, I got 2 more sets, dude. Well, start doing them. No, like it's a business trip. That's how I treat Costco. I disagree with that, OD. Fat Bank agrees with you. Lefty, I'll tell you what, man. I've been there. I don't know. Like, if you're going to go on Sunday, you definitely go before 11. But I'm not going to rank that as my favorite. Lefty's going to just say, I'd rather paint. Okay. Ooh, here's another one by Astros. Friday nights, it's a ghost town when it's not. Okay, yeah, like let's take Christmas out of the equation. Friday nights, okay, I could see that. I like Lip Ripper here. I'm also on the hour before close on a Tuesday. Cut is definitely and if you walk in there at noon on a Saturday and bitch about it, get back in your car. Like, what are you doing? It doesn't matter if it's Christmas or not. I mean, I'm agreeing with you on that, Lip Ripper. Cut any time of the week then. In all seriousness, avoid the week. Exactly. Friday during peak. Okay, this is 2 votes now for Friday, like Friday night. We have Astros and OD Green on Friday dinner time being clutch. Okay, like this is a new one for me. I'm learning. Okay, so 2 things. We have 2 votes for start Friday night. I think we have at least I'm lining this up. Bench Tuesday before close. And cut any day of the weekend. Yeah, like any prime time of the weekend. I think we're good on that too. Okay. All right. No one's disagreed with my 10 to noon Tuesday or Wednesday. I think 10 to noon, like somewhere in the if you're out of there before noon, which is like when all the people go just to do samples, like the guys who like they don't push a cart around. They don't say anything. They're like embarrassed to go get the sample. What is this? And then they like already have another one in their hand. Yeah. Those are the people that get there between like noon and 1:30. Cutting those people too. Short say you can't go at 8 a.m. You can't go 8 a.m. Like they open at like 10. I think they're open at 10 a.m. That's why I say 10 to noon. Pretty sure Costco's at 10 to noon. So I knew I was in good shape today because I pulled up in the gas. I know we're not talking sports here, but I don't want the show to always be just about like, oh, let's talk about where Zach LaVine goes. I pulled like into the Costco gas, like I'm not one of those people that'll wait 25 cars deep for Costco gas either. Not doing it. You got to be calculated. I was running out of gas. I knew it. I was like, I know I'm going to Costco. I think I'm going to take a pretty good chance that there's going to be no line. I pulled right up to a pump. That was my sign that things were going to be very good. Totally agree with you on that, Lip Ripper. No doubt about it. All right, let's finish things up here with, for those of you who've been following, it's time for the bet of the day. Okay, it's time. The graphic. Oh, we got a graphics guy. And folks, we're off the schneid. We are off the schneid. If you bet Memphis 4.5 last night, you sweat it out. It was like 11:38, and I'm on the couch going, you have to be kidding me, because it's not going to happen again. It's 42-37. We have 4.5. Memphis goes for a 50-yard field goal. Guy pushes it right. West Virginia gets the ball. First down. They're driving. Picked off. All right, game over. Dude's running it back, but he looks lost. Instead of going down, guy comes from behind him, knocks the ball out. It goes like 15 yards forward. It goes 15 yards, like 35-yard line. And West Virginia falls on it. They say West Virginia ball. They review it. I did not know this rule in college existed. If you are already in the act of going down, you can't fumble. So the game was over. As he was sliding, the ball pops out. In the NFL, it's 100% a fumble. Not a fumble. Game was over. We covered the 4.5. When you had lost 6 in a row like I had, that's the kind of sweat you have. We're going back to the bowl games tonight. UNLV just had a coaching change, okay? A lot of times guys get pissed about that. You can see the bumps, and there's a lot of emotion. That coach went to Purdue, but UNLV hired Dan Mullen, the former Florida and Mississippi State coach, SEC guy, successful, had a lot of pressure at Florida, got ran out of there, has been at ESPN. I like this move for UNLV. I think they feel the effects of it. He's not coaching the bowl game. I think this line got up to 3.5 before I came on today. I bought it back down to 3 at -124. I'm going to ride the college football bowl games. I'm going to try to stack some wins here. It just feels good to see a 3 instead of a 2-8-1. It just feels good to see 3-7-1. Swayze, I agree, man. The graphics look so much better. We're a show. Watch out, guys. Wait till like Uber Eats or somebody hops on board here and starts sponsoring us. What do you got? Oh, here we go. This is what the bet of the day is, Lip Ripper. James Madison, Western Kentucky, under 49.5. UNLV wearing the new helmets. As an alumni of UNLV, Lip Ripper. Let's go. How about a UNLV alum on the show right now as I put the bet of the day back in the running, flipping Rebels? Woo! Lip Ripper, dude. Let's hammer it together. How you feeling? You like the James Madison under? Let's take a peek. See what some of the guys are saying about the under there. I have some confirmation that somebody else I know also liking that under. Lip Ripper. Let's start getting you in on the bet of the day talk here, man. Let's start getting you in. Justin, back to Monday or Tuesday at open about start, bench, cut, Costco. I agree. Like Monday should be in the mix. It's just that last day, like that carryover Sunday effect. I like Tuesday, Wednesday, but it's kind of like going to the DMV. I'll avoid Monday, but I'd rather go Tuesday, Wednesday. But yeah, definitely at open time. 2 units, baby. No unit shame. Lip Ripper, dude, you're convincing me, man. I think I'm going to lay some lumber on the Rebels tonight. And then I might flirt on the, on the Western Kentucky James Madison under. James Madison always scares me, regardless of who's coaching. I know Kurt Signetti was there, but hey, man, they're always good now. That's just the deal. This has been fun. I love that we can have some conversations that aren't always tied to, well, the Bears have lost 8 in a row. What kind of coach do they need? You know what's exhausting is that we're going to be doing that for another X amount of weeks and all off season right here on the recap. You want to start doing a mini parlay? Have you ever heard of the ladder, Swayze? You put like $10 on UNLV. UNLV wins. We have 1932. We take 1932 tomorrow. We play it on whatever. Now we have 3764. We take 3764. We play it. That's called the ladder. You figure out the number, your walkaway number that you're comfortable with, and you walk whenever that hits. So we could do a mini parlay. Here's what we're gonna do, Swayze, on your. We're gonna start thinking about the mini parlay. We got a lot of college football. We have 3 games today, I believe. I like building a parlay that won't go against us. Maybe we'll start a parlay record. So we'll have the bet of the day, and then we'll start a parlay, and the parlays will keep as a separate record. I like that. I appreciate you, Phil, the real Phil Simms. You are a bad man as well. What do you think about that, Swayze? You're interested. So am I. All right, guys. I appreciate you dearly. This has been another edition of the recap, the ever popular, growing in numbers. It's the talk of the town, certainly of my street these days. And my mother-in-law, quite the fan. She chimes in frequently and gives me more start, bench, cut ideas, and bring yours to the table as we continue to do so. I'm Ryan McGuffey. This has been the Recap Lunch Hour. We will see you again tomorrow. Remember, stay tuned. We have a Bulls podcast taping coming up as soon as I'm done with this. It'll be Joe Cowley and Alyssa Bergamini. She's a friend of the program as well. They'll be taping. That'll drop later tonight. We're taping a new edition of the Cubs and the White Sox podcast. I will be being joined by John Eli and Brian Anderson. John Eli used to be the pitching coordinator for the Birmingham Barons this year. He will give us more insight as to who will fill in that big void left by Garrett Crochet for the 2025 White Sox and beyond. Of course, the recap rush hour. We have the Bulls tomorrow night. So all kinds of stuff here on the channel. Make sure you look for that Big Dog Show. Like I said, really good stuff with Jalen Johnson yesterday. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you again tomorrow.